My plan today. Fuck the Nuzlocke. We're not doing that today. I'm sorry. We're not doing that. So instead, we're gonna be reviewing all Halloween candy. We're gonna just look at all of them. I'm gonna give you my personal opinion because I'm sure you're interested in what I care about, you know, obviously about the Halloween candy, because I currently have a PhD in chocolate and licorice. So we're gonna just start off rip. Hershey's cookies and cream. No. Hershey's, don't get me wrong, I like them. You know, they're the tried and true, the chocolate you would get like when you were like 6 to when you were 28. It's not that good, to be honest. Once you have like Belgium or German chocolate, it kind of offsets Hershey's chocolate. I don't know what it is. It all of a sudden makes it taste a lot shittier. I really don't know what it is, to be honest. I used to like really love Hershey's. I still like them, but the cookies and cream one is especially worse. I don't know why. Okay, next we got Reese's. I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, I wasn't really big on peanut butter. I don't really know why. In recent years, I've started to turn around and start liking it more. But I think, although this will probably get me smited, I'm gonna have to put it in B. The Reese's Pieces, you know, if we're looking at like these bad boys, they're a little worse. It's like basically like if you don't want to eat like a full little cup, you know, you can just have little bits and pieces of it. Which, I mean, at that point, you might as well just have the cup. I don't know why you wouldn't. What do we have next? Okay, Kit Kat bars. I mean, Kit Kat bars, you know, they're cool, but they're not doing anything really special. Like, oh yeah, let me. That's about it, you know. I appreciate the physicality of in hearing the, but if I wanted to just do that, you know, I would just break my bones. So, you know. Now I can't really tell what this is because the resolution is pretty trash, but it looks like something with caramel, maybe like some nuts on it. I'm not super cultured on that, so that's where my degree kind of lacks. So I would probably say, I don't know. Okay, so now we have Sweet Tarts. Sweet Tarts are an interesting one, because I would find these like once every like 20 houses. They were kind of like, you know, they were your golden ticket. If you found these, you were lucky. So I think, just for the case of like whether they still hold up or not, I think they've got to be in first gone. Three Musketeers. These, I don't know, like I've always really liked these guys. Like they are just the bread and butter of chocolate. You know, it's not overbearing to where you're like, oh fuck, this is too much chocolate, but it's not doing like too little to where you're like, I mean, we could just switch this out for anything. It hits that nice little balance of being pretty much the average chocolate bar. So I would say it's below Reese's, but it's definitely above Reese's Pieces. These kind of look like the Pixie Sticks. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love huffing some Pixie Sticks. You know, that's always a fun thing to do. But for the actual taste, you know, I feel like there's a lot better things we could get from it, you know? Like, I find more joy in, like, sniffing these, and, you know, I find more joy in doing that than I do in actually eating them, to be honest. So, I mean, I wouldn't say, would I? No, they're not straight into the trash. It's like, they're not great, but I don't really hate them. Airheads, I mean, easy A. If you want to talk about nostalgia, goddamn, I was fiending for these bad boys. I always really liked the mystery one, even though it was the exact same flavor every time, because I had this theory when I was younger that it changed every time I went to the store. But it turns out, instead, I just didn't get Airheads that much and I forgot how they tasted. Damn, I can't even tell what this is. Either way, I don't think I really got these. Like, it looks like Butterfingers or something similar. I didn't really get too much because I just wasn't really a big fan of it. And most people in my neighborhood, they just had like the generic stuff. So unless I went like a little out of town or a little beyond my neighborhood, I wouldn't really find like half of these. Crunch bars, you know, I do love me some crunching, you know, I do love to, you know, I do love me some little crunching. But the thing about the crunch bars is they're not really much better than Three Musketeers. I do like crunch bars though, for what they're worth. Okay, these are they're like Smarties, if I remember, right? They're like the old school Smarties. I can't really remember. Smarties are all right. I mean, they're pretty cool. But I don't know. If I wanted to take tabs, you know, there's all sorts of medication for that. So I would say it's above. I would say it's above the Pixie Sticks, but that's about it. Sour Patch Kids, easy breezy. If you ain't a big fan of Sour Patch Kids, you're missing out. I mean, they are a classic and a tried and true. I personally, like, I liked looking at the bags of them. Like, I like the little designs, you know, the funny little men. I always thought they were a little entertaining, and when I would have them before, I'd make them do fights and shit. Then I'd eat the loser. I don't really get much from nerds. Like, there would be, like, so many people that they would give you nerds for candy. And I never really would eat them. Good and plenty. I mean, these just fall in the same category, to be honest. Twizzlers, that's an easy. Ooh, actually, no, it's like in between A and First Gone, because I do love me some Twizzlers. That like goes with what I was saying about, like, you know, tried and true, easy to go through. But no, yeah, I would say they're above Airheads. I don't know if I could say they're above Sweet Tarts though. That'd be a little hard to say. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Twizzlers deserve it. They deserve it. I hated Dots. I don't know why, but I never could get behind Dots. I'm sorry. You know, if you like Dots, my bad. Okay, M&Ms. M&Ms, I mean, just a classic. They don't really do a whole lot. You know, they aren't insane. They're not really much better than Hershey's, to be honest. But the nostalgia for M&Ms is just at, like, it's such a high level for me that I would have to say that Bad Boy's got to be in an A tier. And I mean, you know, if I went to a house and they had the chocolate or the caramel or even like some of the other ones, like, I would be happy regardless. That's the thing. It's like they're so, like, applicable, and you're able to have it at such a wide scale that I feel it's deserving of A tier. Okay, these chocolate mints. I can't really read the name, but I know what they are. I would say First Gone. I don't know about you. I love mint. Mint, fire. Fire as shit. I don't know. I've always kind of liked the little, like, the peppermint feel of the mint in my throat, like when it kind of coats it. And when you pair that with chocolate, ooh, great combination. Great combination. I'm sorry, but basically, I don't know what these are. Is basically whatever I can't read tier list. So, you know, if you know what any of these things I put in this tier list are, just let me know in the comments. And then I'll let you know my real rating. Because I might have, like, this looks familiar. And so does this. But I can't really put my finger on the exact name. I'm gonna be honest. I am not big on taffy. When I was younger, I had some medical procedure. Well, I almost say, well, I didn't say medical procedures. I had a spacer put in my back teeth because I had cavities and shit, and I had a little rubber band in as well. For some reason, one time when I went to a farm, I forget what it's called. I went to a place where they sold lots of taffy little bits, and I got it without thinking, and then it ended up getting caught, and getting it out was not very fun. A couple of weeks later, after that happened, this was around, like, when I was in 5th grade, I was just sitting in class, and I did what any kid does when they have metal in their mouth. You know, I was just, like, licking it. I was just putting my tongue on it, just, like, putting it up and down. All of a sudden, my little retainer, I have some. It's on my upper gum up here. Like, in my mouth, obviously. Not, like, right here. That would fucking suck. So, back here, and on the roof of my mouth, I have this little retainer. And I'm just doing it in class, and all of a sudden, shit just comes out. Like, it just falls off. And I nearly bite down on it, so I have to pull this shit out in the middle of class. And I'm, like, in 5th grade. And I go up to the office. And then, you know what I had to do after I took it out? You know what I had to do? Take the 2 corners. Pop that shit back in like Legos. Okay, I see this right here. I spot you. You know, the classic Hershey's. I'm gonna have to put it above gum and above Laffy Taffy and above the sticks I like to huff. But that's about as far as it can go. Oh, these strawberries. I haven't seen this in a hot minute. I remember these bad boys being decent. I would say they are a little above the Rolos because, you know, they're right. But I would say a little below Kit Kats. And then Hershey's Kisses. I mean, so you essentially get a Hershey's bar, but you have less of it. I would say that honestly, it's better than the Hershey's, like the actual bar. But I wouldn't say it's really that much better, because you're still eating the Hershey's chocolate. But when it's in less of its dose, you're able to not feel as shit after eating it. So, you know, it's a nice little balance. Mike and Ike's, I mean, they never really were able to do that much for me, to be honest. Like, I would have them quite a bit, but they're alright. These little pill-shaped silly-ass things, I never could really get behind them too much. Like I was kind of like saying with like the Reese's Pieces, I only kind of recently started caring for these bad boys. But I would say it's above a Crunch Bar, but it is below the Reese's, because Reese's it's very consistent, you know. I can't go around that. I don't know, like almonds, they're alright. Almond chocolate, pretty solid. But when it's Halloween, you're not really looking to find a nice in-between, you know? You're just looking for pure sugar. You're not looking to try to like get a little bit of protein in there. Well, unless you're trying to bulk. But for the most part, you're just trying to find good sugary stuff. And I would say it's below the little Reese's Pieces, but it's definitely like high, like low B, like high, like last gone, so for C. Okay, caramel apple pops. I don't know. Maybe it's due to the medical stuff too, but I just am not super big on caramel. I wouldn't say it's like straight in the trash, but I would say it's a little better than taffy. Okay, I'm gonna change this to the I can't read these L tier. Mr. Good bars, you know. I personally like the Mr. Good Man bars, you know, for my man Saul, but I would say these they're below the strawberries. It's a cool bar, but I haven't really had it enough to really say that it's better than these. Like, when I think back to what like candies I had the most and what I enjoyed the most, I don't really remember a Mr. Good bar as much as some of these other ones. Okay, Hubba Bubba, horrible. Talk about 10 seconds of flavor, you know, it's sounding like me when I get alone with someone, you know, it's tough. It's a rough world out there, you know, it's cruel. And then Swedish Fish. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love me some Swedish Fish, but it's low B. Below Pops, I mean, lollipops that turn into gum. Isn't that exciting? So that's gonna go right above the gums. Alright, so we got the Fireballs. I was never really super good with spice, but I can definitely respect the elders. Well, this is a little bit disrespecting, but we'll go like that. These bad boys, I don't remember the name of these bad boys, but I do remember them. I would definitely say they're better than huffing the silly little sticks, but I'd say it's like kind of tied for where Hershey's bar is. Oh, Fun Dip. I mean, it's a classic. You know, I remember there were those people, there were two types of people. There were those who just ate the stick, and then there were those who just ate the powder. And then, of course, there's the third people who actually, like, dip it in there. But a lot of people I knew, they either had that guy who would dip it, or he would just, like, eat the stick. And that's it. I was, for most of my life, I was the man who ate the stick instead of dipping in the powder, or drinking the powder. But, hey, you know, let me know how you feel about that. Okay, another set of lollipops. You know, these just don't really do that much for me, because I had them quite a bit, and you know, they're always fun to have. But you know, there's much better things I like to suck on, you know. So, oh, if you want to talk about some fucking bad gummies, the Haribo Gold Bears. Hell nah, we're putting these. We're putting them below nerds. These bad boys, besides like their cola bottles, I've hated these things, because like after a while it just becomes nothing. Like the flavors it has, it doesn't really matter. It just turns into just jelly for flavor. Well, not jelly, gel. Heath bars, Oh, who doesn't love a good Heath bar? Ooh. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's above Three Musketeers. I think Three Musketeers, honestly, I'm gonna put it at the end here. Okay, Butterfinger. I am gonna be honest. I'm not super big on the Butterfinger. You know, maybe it's because Bart Simpson is the #1 enemy. He's my enemy. But I'm just not super big on these. Like, I would say it's above the strawberries and Mr. Goodbar, but that's about it. Tamales. I mean, who doesn't love a little cinnamon? I never really ate these too much because I was a little baby. I didn't really like the spice too much. But these bad boys are pretty nice. I would say they're right next to the Heath bar, maybe even like over it, if I didn't really have my bias as much. Lemon heads. I like lemon, don't get me wrong. But I more enjoy drinking like stuff with lemon in it than actually like eating it as much. And if I wanted something sour, you know, I'd just get like Sour Patch Kids or something. So I would say about right there, like mid C tier. Tootsie Rolls. Nah, I mean, they're really, no, I have to say they're above the Lollipop. There's not really much going on there. Like, you know, you could eat like 10 of them and, you know, that's cool. But you're not really getting anything out of it, you know? Oh, Jolly Ranchers. That's a dub. Jolly Ranchers are pretty cool, you know? To this day, I still like to have these every once in a while. Okay, Junior Mints. I am insanely biased. I love the chocolate and mint combination. It's such a fire combination. You know, you could disagree with me. I know it's probably a little weird to have Junior Mints in like S tier. But hey, I just really fuck with mints. I don't know about you. Like, I would eat Altoids like pretty much every time before my shifts. Like, whether I switch with mouthwash or brush my teeth beforehand, I didn't care. I would still take Altoids before I go to work. I've kind of eased up on it a little bit, but I still fuck with mint stuff. It's pretty good. Ring Pops. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love sucking something on their hand? I mean, you know, that's always cool, man. That's really cool. But I wouldn't say it's that amazing. I'd rather have these silly ass things or the stupid bar. I don't. What are these called? I literally saw an ad for this earlier. But it's nuts and caramel, you know. I do fuck with nuts. But caramel's just something I can't really get behind. So I'm gonna have to put it here. Peanut butter M&Ms. I would argue these are honestly better than the original M&Ms. If I'm being 100 with you. Because these bad boys, I don't know. Something about them. I prefer nuts in my mouth, you know? Oh, these silly bars. I remember these bars. I honestly, like, I got them a few times before. I was never really big on them, but I can respect it. I can respect that. Milk Duds. I mean, these and Whoppers kind of have like that same appeal to them. Of just like little bits of chocolate. It's kind of like what I was saying earlier about the Hershey's Kisses, of how, you know, it's like less chocolate, but you still get the taste of chocolate. So I would say it's a little better than the Hershey's, but not that much better. And then we'll just take the Whoppers here. And I would kind of argue they're worse, honestly. Actually, or would I? I kind of like how they're a little crunchier, you know? They are a little bit crunchier. Milky Way bars. That is definitely above the Three Musketeers bar. I would say like B tier. You know what? Here, we'll rank the Starburst and we'll kind of put it behind Starburst. Solid. Classic. And then these bad boys, they kind of look like either like condom boxes or like similar to Starburst. So we'll put them in low A just to be safe. But we are now down to the final stretch. And as you can tell, we have a mix of some strong competitors, and then we have some alright ones. So Skittles, I would say, I would have to say they're above M&Ms. Because it's basically like the same concept, but it's more with fruit. And, you know, fruit feels a little more exciting, I think, than just chocolate, 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 you know? Smarties. I like Smarties. You know, they're a classic, but they're not really insane, you know? Like, I wouldn't be like, holy shit, I got Smarties. I wouldn't be like that excited. They're just something that you get and you're like, oh, nice. Candy corn is a hard one to decide. Because I enjoyed candy corn quite a bit when I was younger, but I've recently kind of started to hate it a lot. Like, candy corn is, it's all right. There's a lot of other things I would prefer to get over candy corn. Like, I know my brother, he do love himself some candy corn. But, I don't know, after I have a few, like 6 of these bad boys, the appeal just wears off. Like, it's really quick. So I'm gonna just continue filling out my last Gone tier. You know what, honestly? Move the Reese's Pieces up. Move the Almond Joy. Yeah, we'll move Almond Joy and Kit Kat up, too. They deserve it. Twix bars. Like I said, I'm not super big on caramel, but that's just because of, like, the medical stuff I had in the past with, like, my teeth and shit. So I would say I have to respect it, though. Because Twix bars are pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. Sour Heads. I mean, I'm not... Like, what type of Sour Heads are these? These are the extreme sour. Okay. I think you know, the Sour Heads are pretty nice. I remember these bad boys would fuck me up a little bit before because I couldn't really handle, like, sour stuff at first. But the more I had it, got better. Got there. And, I mean, it's basically, like, once you get a little bored of your Sour Patch Kids, then you can level up to this. York Patty Bars. I'm a mint fan, you know? You gotta respect that, you know? I love my mints. I love my mints. You know, it's just how it be. I may like my candy like a 60-year-old, but hey, you gotta respect it. And then the Zero Bar, I mean... I've never liked Zero Bars. I don't know if it's like a mind thing or something. But these bad boys are just, they're not good. They are not good. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through my list real quick. I'm going to make my final placement adjustments. And then it will be done. And then, yeah, this is, once you get to, like, dots down to here is F. Everything else here, like, from good and plenty to here is D. So, let me know how you feel about that list. And, you know, stay safe on Halloween. Make sure to check for belty airsofts in your apples and in your chocolate bars. You know, send me your tier list. Let me know, like, what is your favorite Halloween candy? I showed you mine. You could see my bias with, like, the mint and stuff. What's your bias? Because we all have one. Don't lie to yourself.